So I have a question regarding, I guess, like the life cycle of a creator or an artist. So if you're trying to get involved in this Web3 space and figure out how to monetize your community, like what are like the ethical ways to do it and then maybe the not so ethical ways? Because I've seen, and I know that there some people say NFTs are no fucking thanks. Like that's what people are like, the opponents of the technology, because they see these rug pulls. I think one of the more famous ones was like the Squid Games NFT that went belly up, and then you had this whole community of people that just got scammed. So I guess like the ethical life cycle of a creator to monetize that, and then as the consumer or the fan, like what are some key points to look at to, I guess, invest wisely?
As with every contract that you have, is do you trust that person? Right? Who was behind the Squid Games thing? Nobody, you didn't know. You didn't have a relationship. So people were just looking, oh, this looks like a cool idea. I'm going to throw money at it. Difference is, if you say, I'm going to create a series of 1,000 NFTs for my true fans, and I'm going to give them to you, and those first 1,000 true fans, anybody who owns that NFT is going to get a bunch of stuff. I'm going to have meet and greets. I'm going to release some special content. I'm going to, have, Zoom calls with you. Okay, now those things have value. You've not monetized anything. You've given it to people. Okay, that's a first good start
Okay.
because you can monetize later. Because then once you've got these true fans, the NFTs now have value and maybe other people want to join the community. So maybe you say, well, the actual size of this is 10,000, but I've given the first 1,000 out. Now suddenly the market will set a price because people will want, if you prove that you're going to add value to the community, then those NFTs will have a value. And suddenly, before you know it, they're trading at $1,000. So now you can sell more of the NFTs to give other people access. But again, you have to keep proving that you're adding value, that it's not just an idea.
Or like a money
It's that,
grab.
no, it needs to be a utility, that we're in this together. We're trying to build something between community member and influencer or artist. Once you do that, once you see that, it's genuine. Does it mean it's going to work? No. It depends whether the community grows and the benefits are good and it catches on, enough people hear about it. But that's generally how it should be done. Anybody who's just launching something because it's meme, sure, if you feel like speculating with a few bucks doing it because it's fun, by all means. But that's not Web3. That's just fun speculation. Web3 is this symbiotic relationship between the creator and the fan.
Yeah, and that makes me really excited because you're getting rid of like the need for these mega corporations, and you're putting the value where I think it should have been this whole time, which is in the creator, within the artist, and within the community. And I've actually seen some like pretty prominent public figures that tried launching NFTs and like social tokens, and for some reason or another, it just like didn't do as well as they had anticipated. And they got ahead of it, and they were like, you know what? This isn't what I wanted, and I'm still learning too. So if you want, like, here's a refund, and if you want to hold, then you can hold, and we're in this together. And then I've seen the opposite, which is like, well, it's an investment and they're risky, so I'll take my cash and leave. And to me, I'm like, why would you do that? Because you just killed your brand and you killed all trust, and you can't come back from that.
But this is why I love this, because in the end, it means those that look after their communities can grow the value of their communities.
Hmm.
Those that destroy them can't. So what happens is the communities who look after each other are vibrant, and the other ones just fail because, as you've said, you've trashed your brand, so nobody trusts you. You've broken that circle of trust, and so in which case your ability to grow in this Web3 world has gone down. So it actually polices bad actors versus good actors. And what happens is people get attracted to places where you see that they're doing a good job. A great example of this is Bored Ape Yacht Club. At first, everyone's like, why the hell monkey JPEGs? Who cares? This is stupid. But then they realized that they built a real robust community, and then people were building on top of it because they allowed the IP rights to be part of the smart contract. So that meant that people like Timbaland, the music producer, could build Ape in Productions, which is four apes, bored apes, and he's built music around it. and he's created a record label with NFTs. So now you've created an ecosystem, and Animoco Brands is creating a game around it. And then eventually they dropped the ape token, which was because the apes were too expensive for a large community, but they were the statement of intent. This is what our community stands for. We want people to build amazing stuff. We want to be a kind of a culture media brand. And then the ape token meant that millions of people can now participate in that. That's really clever.
I didn't know. See, I'm still learning about the Bored Apes, and I'm still kind of on the fence of like, I don't understand why this JPEG is so.
I wrote a big tweet thread on this, and it's also a Substack. So look my name on Substack, and I wrote that because I just bought my Bored Ape, only a couple of weeks ago, and I explained why and what Yuga Labs is up to, what this all means, how it all relates. So it's not a kind of idiot's guide to NFTs. It's an idiot's guide to how Web3 works and why this matters.
No, I'll definitely check that out. And honestly, I think the work that you're doing is so incredible, especially with Real Vision and, as you've put it, like the democratization of information. Because I think The Big Short was one of my favorite movies. I've seen it 100 times, and every time I'm like, how did no one know? Like, how come this information isn't just out there? So the fact that you're podcasting so much and you're giving away so much information for free, and then obviously there is some stuff behind a paywall, I think is incredible.
Yeah, and look, I'm just passionate about it. I'm passionate about, using what I've learned in my career, and I've been very privileged in the position I've been in, to let other people take advantage of it themselves. I can see the system's broken. I see people are angry, and I can see we're driving populism, splintering people left and right for no reason, but people are just looking to blame somebody for why they're in this mess. So we can talk all day about who's to blame or why it happened. The reality is, it is.
Hmm.
So then it's about, okay, what is the solution? And the solution is here. It's this Web3 world. It's crypto. It's digital assets. This is where the potential is for all of us to leave that past behind. So yeah, I'm so passionate about just helping people understand what this is all about.
Right, and it's a much more positive take on a solution when it comes to like wealth disparity or inequality of wealth or distribution, which a lot of people are talking about. And it's instead of trying to take from people that have, it's this abundant way of looking at it. And it's like, no, you don't have to do that because there is so much out there, and you too can be abundant and just create more wealth. Like it doesn't have to be this finite game.
And also, what's really interesting, it is both very left wing and very right wing in what it does. Right wing in terms of economics. So it is pure free market capitalism. Yet it's very progressive because it's all about community and how you treat the others around you and how you support that community. Now, this is bizarre because everybody else is still throwing mud at each other about, left versus right. And here is a solution where politics doesn't really get into it much. It does at Bitcoin level a bit, but outside of that, it's completely the opposite. So I love the fact here we've got free market capitalism and progressive values where society matters all together. And nobody gets penalized for it either. There's the taxation, the method of taxation or whatever is egalitarian. So everybody pays their fees by using the blockchain. And that's it.